Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another open-ended question. This one involves linear equations, systems of equations, domain and range, and a little bit of graphing. So Zeke has $15 and earns $6 an hour babysitting. The equation below can be used to determine how much money in dollars M Zeke has after any number of hours of babysitting H. Notice that we have a 15 here. That 15 is simply the amount of money that he already has. The 6 is how much he earns each hour babysitting. The H is the number of hours, and the M is the amount of money that he has. So if we go to, if we start to label these, M equals dollars, in amount of money. H equals hours that he's babysitting. And then they give us the equation that N equals 6H plus 15. In the problem, they tell us that they want to find how many hours it will take Zeke to have $51. Well, that 51 is an amount of money, so we're going to plug that 51 in for N. So 51 equals 6H plus 15. Subtract 15 from both sides as we work to get H alone. So 36 equals 6H divided by 6, and H equals 6 for 6 hours. And that is part A of this open-ended question. I'll give you a second to look at that. And let's look at part B. Zekarella has $9. She makes $8 an hour babysitting. Use the system of linear equations below to find the number of hours of babysitting after which Zeke and Zekarella will have the same amount of money. And you see that they give you a new equation for Zekarella, 8H plus 9. So we now have two equations. We have our for Zeke, M equals 6H plus 15, and then we also have M equals 8H plus 9. Zekarella must have a better agent because she's making more money for her hours of babysitting. Okay, so we want to know when the money is the same. When the money is the same, these M's are going to be the same. If those M's are going to be the same, that means that the 6H plus 15 and the 8H plus 9 also have to be the same. Because if they're both equal to M, and the M's are equal to each other, they have to equal each other. That is transitive property. So we're going to say that 6H plus 15 equals 8H plus 9. You subtract 6H from both sides. You subtract 9 from both sides. Then 6 H's and the 9's will cancel out. We get 6 equals 2H. We divide by 2, and we get that H equals 3 hours. They will have the same amount of money after 3 hours. For part C, it says create a graph that describes the amount of money Zeke and Zekarella will each have saved after their hours of babysitting. Okay? And then a part of this also says, based on the graph, for what domain H will Zeke have more money saved than Zekarella? Explain your reasoning. I think the easiest way to do this is to actually go back a little bit to part B and say, how much money do they each have after 3 hours? So I would take this H and I would plug it in to the original equation. So for Zeke, I would have 6 times 3 plus 15 equals 33. Zeke would have $33 after 3 hours. And now Zekarella better be the same because we said that they had the same amount. So 8 times 3 plus 9, and that also gives us 33. After 3 hours, they both have $33. So now, excuse me, I am ready to go graph this. So, I'm going to make my axes. Okay? And I'm going to count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40. And here, I'm going to count by 1. Now, we know a couple things. We know that Zeke started with $15. His equation for Zeke was 6h plus 15. By the way, I should have this labeled money and this labeled as hours. Always label your graphs. Okay, so we know that Zeke started at $15. We also know that after 3 hours, he had $33. So I'm going to put a point there at 33, and now I can draw a line through those 2 points. And this is Zeke. Okay. For Zekerella, we know that she started with $9. She had 8h plus 9 for her original equation. So we're going to start her at 9. And she also went through the point 333. So we're going to draw a line through those 2 points. And please notice that I didn't go to the left of 0. I did not go back in here because you can't work for negative hours. Okay? So it doesn't make sense to make a graph to the left of your y-axis in this case. However, we do put arrows on the ends up here because they could work for a long, long, long time. Okay? From there, so that's what the graph would look like. From there it says, for how many hours does Zeke have more money than Zekerella? Well, Zeke starts with more money, so he has more money at hour 0, and he has more money up to hour 3, but not including hour 3. At hour 3, they have exactly the same, so we use the less than 3. And that is the domain for which Zeke has more money than Zekerella. I hope this helps. You are ready now to take the next open-ended question. I hope you all have a good day.